This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Welcome to Don't Retire, Graduate, the podcast that asks you what you want to be when you grow up so you can graduate into retirement with purpose and passion. I'm your host and valedictorian, Eric Brotman. Welcome to Office Hours, where we answer listeners' questions about personal finance, retirement readiness, and more. We received a question from Ava, who asked, how much does money matter in a relationship? And Ava, that is a fantastic question and a multifaceted one, because there are lots of different kinds of relationships. So actually, money plays a role in almost any relationship in our lives, whether it's a relationship with our parents, a relationship with our children, a relationship with business partners, or, of course, a romantic relationship or one with our own spouse or partner. So in all of those cases, the things that matter most related to money are about communication, transparency, and honesty. When you enter into a relationship of any kind, it's important to be, well, financially naked. And what I mean by that is not to have things that are hidden from your partner or from the other party of that relationship whatsoever, because the ahas and the gotchas that come later can damage a relationship. And certainly there are cases where we've seen that in all different kinds of relationships throughout my career. Generally speaking, if we're talking about a romantic relationship, this doesn't come up on a first date. Naturally, there's a period of time where you're getting to know somebody, deciding if this is somebody you want to spend time with and how much and all of that. But when you start talking about should we cohabitate, or should we be looking at buying a home together, or are we contemplating marriage or some form of civil union, at that moment, it's real important to be able to look at the financials in an objective way. And what I would tell you is, if you're uncomfortable with yours, first, you're not alone. I don't know very many people who are comfortable with their own financials. There are some incredibly wealthy people who believe that they're not wealthy enough and wish they had done more. There are other incredibly wealthy people who feel guilty and shameful because they have so much wealth and feel like they should be giving it away. And then there's folks who don't have a lot of money and who feel either embarrassed by it or stressed by it or worried by it. So there's a lot of emotional baggage around money anyway. And when you go into that relationship, I think it's best potentially to have an objective third party in the conversation, not because you're trying to be forensic about this. You're not digging up, somebody's skeletons financially. But I do think it's helpful if you, Ava, have a financial advisor, or your partner or other person you're in a relationship with has a financial advisor. Maybe everyone's involved. Maybe you choose one, or maybe you just have a real candid conversation. Because it's important to know, for example, if you're debt-free and you're contemplating getting married to someone with $100,000 of student loans, you're not only marrying that person, you're marrying their debt for all intents and purposes. And so money matters in that way in a relationship. Now, when we phrase that question, you could also say, well, how much does money matter? In other words, for a good relationship, do you have to have lots of money? And the answer is, of course not. Money is not in and of itself going to make a relationship better or worse. But the communication and the transparency around it, I think, is the most important piece. And I hope this was helpful, Ava. I wish you luck if you're in this situation and you want to have a conversation with us or with another financial advisor about how to be transparent about this. It's usually best to work on either debt issues together or spending issues together. And you're going to wind up with potentially joint credit cards and joint bank accounts and joint housing deeds and other things. And you really want to know where you stand and where your partner stands before that relationship begins. And just to footnote this, in case your question really was related to either a business relationship or a relationship with a parent or other loved one, I think the answer is largely the same before you enter into a relationship, a partnership, or what have you. It's best to have this conversation. It's just one of those things that if you're honest about it, you can make sure that there's no gotchas. So I hope that was helpful. I thank you so much for your question, Ava. If you'd like to send us a question, which we might answer on a future episode of Office Hours, post it on our Facebook page or tweet us at Brotman Planning. I'd like to thank all of you for listening today. We'd love to hear from you, so please send us a message or leave us comments at don'tretiregraduate.com or on social media. If you like our show, don't keep us a secret. Share it with friends and family so they can join you on your path to financial freedom. Thanks for coming to Office Hours. It's been a pleasure. Please tune in for new content every Thursday. For now, this is your host, Eric Brotman, reminding you, don't retire, graduate.
Securities offered through Kestra Investment Services, LLC, Kestra IS, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Kestra Advisory Services, LLC, Kestra AS, an affiliate of Kestra IS. Kestra IS or Kestra AS are not affiliated with Brotman Financial or any other entity discussed.
Hello, this is Gary Chahot welcoming you to check out the French History Podcast. Our main show covers the history of France from the first humans until present. If you liked Mike Duncan's The History of Rome and wanted a similar program covering the land of beauty, culture, and love, we are exactly that. We also host world-renowned scholars who have delivered guest episodes on their specialties, including 18th century pirates, revolutionary booksellers in 20th century Paris, the special friendship between the Marquis de Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson, and numerous others. Learn what you love and listen to the French History Podcast today.